Okay, now I'm ready. Look, we got me woken up. Got me waking up. I'm gonna take a dump. I'm gonna get in the truck. All right, go. Woo! Let's go, baby. Barca says business as usual against Mallorca.
And in lieu of an Isak signing, Liverpool still get a hard-fought 3 points. All this and more in this episode 83 of the No Business Soccer Podcast. Snooze kicks off.
Let's dig in. Welcome back to the No Business Soccer Podcast. I'm your host, Snooze, and we're here with the full fam. Of course, we got Danny P on the ones and twos. Actually, that's not true. He's just here. My boy, J-Fam, the Brainiacs on the ones and twos. But you know, everybody's here to see my boy, Hype Man Vic. What you sipping on, dog?
Well, I'll tell you what, last episode, I had the Weller Foolproof, and I just wanted to keep going with the Weller with my favorite pour of the Weller lineup, which is the red label Weller Antique 107. That's what we have. Absolutely delicious. It's not as proofy, so I won't get as drunk and hopefully say some names correctly. But it's so good, so much cherry forward, so cherry forward, and absolutely smooth. So while I go ahead and drink this fabulous elixir, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It's the easiest way to help us out and, you know, make YouTube think that maybe we're pretty cool and other people might want to talk to us. So while you do so, cheers, my friends.
Ding. Yeah, I forgot if on TikTok someone said that you know, why is someone not pronouncing the names or hasn't watched Italian football, something like that. And so I'm supposed to be firing you today, but nobody gets paid here yet. So yeah, you know, I guess you're gonna have to stay for a bit longer.
Sorry, buddy. But I do agree. I should be learning these names way more. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to deal with me a few more weeks.
Hey, a couple more seasons in, he'll be like really good at the names. Actually, that's part of the fun is like letting him struggle with them, because I could easily just do that part, but you know, it's way easier to see you do those names. You know what I mean? But anyway, today is the European reach around or the European wrap up. Whichever you prefer. Today we only have 2 leagues to go over, because if you remember, La Liga and the Prem are the ones that had week 1 this week. Everything is back this coming weekend, which, man, I am really excited for. So we have to go over a bunch of big headlines that happened in La Liga, headlines in the Prem, all the matches and details about them, what we thought about them, what happened in this weekend's matchups. But before we get to that, we have to start boots on the ground in Austin, Texas for the Austin FC Minute.
Yes, sir. And it was another derby day, and man, there were some definite tempers out there as we started pushing, shoving, and everything, all to a 1-1 draw with FC Dallas this past Saturday night at Q2 Stadium. And while Owen Wolff probably had the best game that we've ever seen him play, he was nutmegging people, he was tackling people left and right. He went up and put somebody else on a poster. I don't even know the guy's name, but he put somebody else on a poster, headed one in. It was all, I wouldn't say for naught. We still ran away with got away with 1 point, but really would have wanted those 3 points. And it was a fun game to go to, though. I think the whole No Business fam was there. Nobody came up and said anything, so I didn't buy anybody beer. Offer's still open for everybody.
It'll happen.
It'll happen one day. So,
it was also really hot and sweaty, and you know, that's why tempers are flaring too. So
yeah, it might have been all the humidity. Had the hydration breaks and everything. So. But yeah, it was still a fun game to watch, and especially because it's a derby. I'm pretty sure we are out of Copa Tejas. I don't think we can win that anymore. I think if anything, Houston and Dallas may be able to tie for it, or Houston and Frisco, because they're in Frisco. But unfortunate, and we just hope to get another 3 points, and it's starting to get old for Austin FC fans, because I think even my captain, Brad Suber, is saying, yeah, we need to step up. There's this whole team that needs to step up and get some wins, get some points, something else besides a draw at home. I think we only have 4 wins at home so far this year, and that's just not going to cut it. So hopefully they can, I don't know about turn it around, but, you know, get some more momentum and get a push going into the playoffs. We take on Montreal next Saturday, the 23rd in Montreal. So no Q2 Stadium, won't be able to buy you a beer. But we will see how things turn out Saturday night.
Yeah, Bakari was balling out too. I like to watch him. He's always fun, except I feel like he's not on the same length. He's not on the same wavelength as the rest of the team. Like he does stuff, and then there's no one there, and he just needs to shoot more, in my opinion. But this is an Austin FC podcast. Let's get into what the meat and potatoes of what we have. Let's start off. I guess we'll start off in Spain.
Let's do it. To La Liga. Yes, the soothing sounds of La Liga. And we are going to start off remixing a little bit here because we're going to talk about our top 5 headlines from La Liga match day 1. Starting off with number 1, snooze, new season, same results for Atletico Madrid. Tell us about them.
Yeah, in our preview of this one, I said that this was exactly the type of match that Atleti would drop points in last season, and their struggles continued on Sunday. We'll talk about it more here in a sec.
Yes, sir. And now we move on to our number 2 talking point from La Liga match day 1, and that was the controversy in Mallorca. Tell us more about it, Snooze.
You know, Yamal is still the dream with a goal and an assist, but it was a tough night for Mallorca. There was some insanity in this one with Mallorca ending the match with 9 men on the pitch. Some might even call it a controversy. Stay tuned to find out why.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can't wait. And then we will move on to our number 3 headline from La Liga match day 1. And that is our Girona already doomed to be relegated. And tell us about their match news.
It really couldn't have started worse for Girona. They lose at home to Rayo 3-1. Their keeper's mistakes directly led to 2 goals, and he was sent off. I mean, it's just a bad time for them. I'm going to call it early. Girona are going down this season.
Brave call, or bold call right there. We already go to our number 4 talking point from La Liga match day 1, and that is no Baena, no Barry, no problem for Villarreal. Tell us more, Snooze.
A 2-0 win for Villarreal over Oviedo isn't surprising at all. But what was surprising is the way that Villarreal looked on the pitch. Maybe the way that their attacking prowess continued, even though they didn't have their main guys from last season, is the shocking part of it all. It was really cool to see Villarreal do what they did, and we'll break it down here more in just a sec.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we will finish up with our top 5 talking point from La Liga match day 1. And that is Valencia and Real Sociedad putting on a show. Tell us more, Snooze.
Yeah, it is safe to say that both of these teams will be starting off better than they did last season. It was a fun back and forth battle. And if you missed it, go check out the highlights, because man, Mestalla was on fire last night and it was a lot of fun.
Yes, okay. Sir. Yes, sir.
Look at us. Good New time. Segment. We're gonna transition for the podcast now because I think what I owe you guys is a little bit more detail about these matches, and of course we're gonna bring up our the schedule, how everything turned out, and then we're gonna talk about them. So, with further ado, let's jump into it. I think it's that you see it right there, Friday.
Yes, sir. We started off with Friday. As you said, Girona had a very bad start. They go down to Rayo 3-1. Tell us about this match.
Man, the Girona, so like I said a second ago, they had a nightmare start to the campaign with this loss. But I mean, we talked about in the preview, though, that they needed to start off hot after the disaster they had last season. Gazzaniga, their keeper, was horrible. And again, he's the one who got sent off. And he had a direct hand in 2 of the 3 goals. It was just a really crappy start for them. And Rayo, they were just better the entire time. The one goal that I would say go check out if you haven't seen it yet, De Frutos' vision and pace for their second goal was amazing. He anticipated that this ball was going to be hit in a certain way, and he just took off running. It is like he saw the future before it happened. It was really cool to see. I'm excited to see this Rayo team, and they're in Europe this year. So, man, it's going to be even more fun. I'm excited.
Yes, sir. Going to be fun. And the other match that we had on Friday, talk about bad starts. The newly promoted Oviedo fall to Villarreal. Tell us about this match.
So I alluded to it a second ago, but this is, I think the dominance that was on display was really cool to watch from Villarreal because it was people that didn't necessarily dominate for them last season. They were, of course, a really good season, but they had Pape Gay, they had Iyong, they had Pepe. They had all these guys come out this past game against Oviedo with firepower, and I just didn't know that it was going to happen that way. I figured they would kind of struggle a bit, and spoiler alert, a little bit like Real Betis did. But I mean, I really want to see them playing against some tougher opposition. I think they play Girona next, so I don't think they'll have much of a task there. But once they get to the one of the top maybe 5 or 6 opponents. It'll be really cool to see if they can continue what they did this past, what was it, Saturday? No, Friday. It was on Friday.
Yes, you're getting ahead of me. We will move to Saturday though, because I know this is the first time I've seen a non-Dallas Cowboy do this, but there was a crying child in this Mallorca and Barcelona 3-0 stomping that Mallorca took. Tell us more about this match.
Yeah, I mean, the way my notes start off is just damn. That's all you can say for Mallorca. It was hard to watch, honestly. They lose 3-0. They had 2 players sent off, and they seemingly had the refs against them as well. And the second goal, I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, Vic, but I don't know how it was allowed to stand. I think, well, we watched it here, right? We were all out, we saw it. So, I mean, if you haven't seen it, before Torres' goal, a Mallorca player took a shot to the face, it seemed like, and he went down in the box. I mean, he's laying face down in the box, and the ref puts the whistle to his mouth, but he never blows it. And Mallorca, they kind of stopped playing because they're like confused. Okay, the player down, ref has the whistle in his mouth, but they just kind of stood there, and then they see that Barca weren't stopping, so they start to like, oh, wait, play defense, I guess. Torres didn't care. He gets the ball and he puts in the back of the net. I'll say the top of the net, the back of the net, and I think everyone expected it to be called back. Let's go review it. Was there a player down? Yeah. No, none of that happened. All that happened was I think he went to VAR or something. I'm not even really sure, but either way, the ref just blew the whistle and pointed to the spot like, hey, all right, the goal stood. And I think from that point, the entire energy around the game, the stadium, everything switched. It was weird. And then, I mean, it's no surprise that at that point, at the end of the game, they ended up being 2 men down, not even just a man down. And yeah, it was crazy. And it sucks because overall, the thing that I really wanted to talk about and the thing that we were talking about the most was the cute little duck that was on Mallorca's uniforms, their kit. And we can't even talk about that because of all the controversy that went on, Vic.
Yeah, and a little bit just to add to that is that whenever the commentators were like waiting for the ref's decision, they're like, okay, I guess they'll drop the ball. Oh no, he's given the goal. Right? He's given nobody knew what was going on at that time. Yeah. And they gave him the goal.
Believe it.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how they decided, like how do they see the dude face down in the box and just like,
he even wobbled
we just keep going.
Wobbled. Crazy. I was like, oh, that's a head injury. You need to stop. But I don't know. The last team you need to give any kind of upper hand to is Barcelona, and they took it and ran with it, unfortunately. Yeah. But we will move on with our Saturday as Alaves welcomed Levante to La Liga with a 2-1 win against Levante. Tell us about this match.
Yes, Levantate, as you call them. And like I said in the preview, I don't know if there are 6-pointers this early in the season, especially like the first match day. But these could be very important 3 points for Alaves come the end of the season, come spring, because I don't want to say that it was a bad showing from Levante. They actually look pretty decent, but overall, I mean, I can almost guarantee that whenever it comes down to it, there's going to be not much more than 3 points separating all the teams at the bottom of the table. And Alaves just did themselves a favor. It was actually a pretty fun one too. They went back and forth. I think Levante is going to be a fun team to watch this year. Alaves, they weren't really fun to watch last year, but hey, 2 teams that expected to get 3 points from this one go at it. What can you ask for more?
Yes, sir.
What more can you ask for?
Whatever. There you go. I knew what you meant. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Thank you.
But to end out our Saturday, it was one of our top 5 headlines from this weekend. We had Valencia and Real Sociedad fight to a 1-1 draw. Tell us about this match.
Yeah, they were calling this one the people's main event of the weekend, and it delivered. Both sides played like they had something to prove after last season, and that was really cool to see because I think, like we talked about, both sides probably penciled in these points, or this match is 3 points, because I don't think that Real Sociedad looks at Valencia and is scared. Same thing with Valencia. I don't think they looked at Real Sociedad and thought, oh man, maybe we should play for a draw here. And honestly, what we talked about for La Real was that they can't be in the bottom, four teams in scoring when they have Kubo and Ayorzabal on their team. And they had to get going early, and Kubo did just that. Kubo is so much fun to watch. He gets a goal, and he gets off his goal-scoring tally off and running. Ayorzabal played well. He didn't get a goal in this one, and the difference was for both teams, you can just feel that they are, I don't know the word for it really, they just have a swagger about them. They have a aura that they're not going to be as bad as they were last season. And it ends up being 1-1 draw, which was a really fun match to watch. Of course, Mestalla is always fun to see games at. hopefully we go there live one day, but I meant on TV. It's just amazing to see. They're always full of energy. And anyway, yeah, I just can't wait to see how these teams end up doing in the next maybe 5 or 6 games. Let's see after the first quarter how they are. But I have a feeling, Vic, that they're not going to be as bad as they were last season.
We will see, and we'll throw it on the bucket list as well to go to a match.
Yes, Mustaya.
So. But that ended our Saturday, and we will go into Sunday as Getafe get a 2-0 road win against Celta Vigo. Tell us about this match, News.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was just early season jitters or if this result was indicative of what's to come, but Getafe, they play this match perfectly like a team that is super defensive can play it. Getafe, they were solid defensively. They hit on the counter, and Celta, they had a couple of good chances for themselves as well. They just couldn't get them to fall. And what happens whenever you're allowing a team to kind of stay around? If they hit you on the counter, then you get taken care of. We'll talk about some other teams that happened to. But either way, Vic is excited because defense won on the day. Getafe, they already had a top 5 defense in La Liga last season, and Uche if he becomes a problem like he was in this match, I think he got a goal and an assist in this one. If he's able to produce how he did in this match and they have that defense, I think Getafe could be a problem. They could be dangerous this season, especially with some of the teams that might take them lightly because, it was cool to watch this happen. I don't know if it continues. Maybe Celta that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's for the first game jitters. I don't know, but Getafe looked really good on Sunday.
Yeah, they did. And one other team that looked pretty good. Well, there's a couple more, but this next one we're going to talk about, Athletic Club taking on Sevilla. Athletic Club get the 3-2 win with Nico Williams at their side. Tell us a little bit more about this match.
Yeah, this guy, Nico Williams, you can't script it better. He signs a deal with them. He extends his contract. He snubs Barcelona, and then he goes on to just have a great game for them. But anyway, please put money on Nico Williams to score more than the 5 goals he did last season, if you haven't already, because he took over in this game with a goal and an assist. And then their second goal came from a deflected shot that he had. So, he pretty much created the entire offensive side of the ball for Athletic Club. It was an awesome showing for Nico and Athletic Club. And shout out to Sevilla, too, because I know we gave them a lot of stick for just kind of the way that they have all this chaos and stuff going on around them. But they didn't make it easy for them. Them being Athletic Club to get the win. On the pitch, they are looking really good, even though there's all this chaos and craziness going on around them outside of the pitch. So I don't know, maybe Sevilla is actually going to be decent this year. It was just really cool to see. Plus, I have notes, like I'm taking a inventory of some of the matches, some of the goals of the season, like just so I can have something to go back on. And I think Luca Bacchio scored one that is definitely going to be one of the finalists for goals of the year. It was a ridiculous shot from outside the box. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I think it was Sevilla's first goal. Yeah, it was really cool.
Definitely going to look that up. I haven't seen that one yet, so I can see. Producers, bring that up. We'll find it out somewhere. But
yeah, please.
And we will go on with the show that closed off our Sunday, and that was Espanyol taking down Atleti. Espanyol take the win 2-1. Some people might not have seen this, but tell us a little bit more about this.
If you watched Atleti last season, you might have had an inkling that this would happen, but we didn't think it would because of all the money they spent this summer. That's just not how things work. I thought that this would end differently for Atleti, but again, the new look squad still having the same issues. There was a reason why we called it out that Atleti had drop points in this type of match, like we talked about earlier in the show. But it's because they just create opportunities aplenty, if you will. But they missed chance after chance. No matter how many times they got into the box, they just kept Espanyol in the game, and they need to get it fixed because if they can't take care of business against the teams that they should be, then there's no way that they're going to be title challengers against Barca and Madrid. Losing 2-1 on the opening day is just something that can't happen, even though it was on the road in Espanyol, and I can't remember the name of their stadium, but that place was going insane. It was just, from a Espanyol standpoint, though, it was amazing. The crowd erupted every time they did something, and of course, when they scored the winner, what would end up being the winner, it was just awesome energy there. But they were clinical. They had way less chances, and they took them. And crowd goes nuts. I'm excited to see if this actually continues this success, because you got to think, if you take on a team that's the top three, or the big three, if you will, in La Liga, and you get a win, that's some momentum, and I'm excited to see what they do with that.
Yeah, I'm sure it helps with morale as well, especially for a team that, that had a little bit of a breakout last year, but weren't that great. But I don't know. We'll see what happens going forward. It's way too early to tell anything. And it's going to be fun to see, though. But that would end our Sunday. And then we go into Monday Night Football. And this is the last game that we had. The last game that we had as the time of this recording. But when you see it, it'll be a day later. But we had Elche, the newly promoted Elche, taking on one of the more fun stories from last year, Real Betis, both fighting to a 1-1 draw. Tell us about this match, Snooze.
Yes, this one. I couldn't believe the fall off that Betis had. I mean, I guess I could believe it because of the star power that they don't have right now, but still, Elche stunned Betis with a 1-1 draw, and all the bad vibes that we were discussing preseason, they turned out to be true. We said it in the preview that we wanted to see how Betis would respond without Isco, without Cardoso, without Anthony, and the answer is not well. They did not do it well. They looked flat in attack, and now it's going to all be on Lo Celso to create and to score and to make sure that this team is driving forward at the way that they did last year anyway. But yeah, Elche, I don't think that they were expecting anything from this match, so they're going to take this point, and they're going to be pretty excited that they get it so early on. But I don't want to say I'm not excited. I'm nervous for this Betis side until we can see Isco back on the pitch, because they were a bit lifeless in attack on Monday Night Football, and that is correct. Monday Night Football. That's we need to have like the theme song. Probably NFL has some rules around that. Can't use that, but
probably they'll strike us down quick.
We were waiting all morning for Sunday Night Football. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Whatever.
I think we can get away with that one, but but that's it. That's the only Monday night game. We do have a Tuesday game, and of course, it's Real Madrid taking on Osasuna. At the time of this recording, that has not happened yet. It is Monday night for us. So, we will hopefully go over that score at some point. Maybe do a short or something like that. So be sure to subscribe so you get that. And we will talk to you all soon on that one.
Okay,
that does it for La Liga.
Well, let's go. Let's first jump to the table, though, because I think even though these are only match day ones, we still want to show you where the table goes throughout the season, because it's just fun. It's a fun exercise. There's going to be some teams that maybe they stick around, maybe they don't. I don't know, but we're going to make sure that they're there that we're there the entire time. And so, this is the way it looks right now. Sorry, I'm breaking up my notes here, but I mean, nothing's changed from the top, Vic. Barcelona, right there.
Yeah, it seems like they can't. I mean, stop us if you heard this before, but they can't seem to get out of first place. And with a team like that, Lamine Yamal always going to have some sort of championship pedigree and wherever he plays. But I mean, it's still week one. If you look at this, you have 7 league winners and you have 7 relegated teams, and then you got some draws and some people that haven't played yet. So. Again, it's fun to watch and kind of watch throughout the season, and we will do so.
If someone, let's just do this little exercise real quick. We didn't even discuss this. I'm just going to talk about it right now. For let's say Getafe and Rayo, how long do we think they stay in the top 4? You think one more match day? Think no match days by the end of next match day they aren't there?
Let's see. I think Getafe gets dropped because Real will win by more than 2. Making Rayo will probably stay 3rd. So it would be Barcelona, Real, Rayo, Villarreal. I think.
Okay.
Sorry, Getafe. Sorry, Getafe fans who are all definitely listening to this podcast.
Yeah, definitely listen. I want to see. I think that Rayo. I don't know if they'll be good enough to stick in that top 4, but I think I'm going to hitch my wagon on Getafe this season. I was kind of with them last season when I was talking about how their defensive record was just ridiculous compared to all the teams around them. They were a bottom half of the table team that had a top 4 defensive record. So, if Uche gets going, I know I said it earlier, but man, that was just fun to watch. And their kit's like all red, a little bit of blue. I'm excited. Let's just put it that way. Let's see how they do, though.
You and your colors.
Yeah, I know. Hey, it's fun. All right. Okay. Well, that's it for Spain for La Liga, I think it is time to go to the only other league that happened this past weekend. Let's go to England.
Let's do it to the Prem. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It feels good to have the Prem back, and we will start with our top 5 headlines from the Premier League match day 1. Number 1, the reigning champs are off to a winning start.
Liverpool looked good outside of 2 counterattacks that ended in Semenyo goals. Ekitike gets his first Premier League goal, and all is well in Anfield.
Number 2, Isak is a no-show for Newcastle.
Yeah, this was one to watch for the weekend, and things look bleak for the Toon as they try to keep Isak, and boy, did it look like they could have used him this weekend.
Number 3, the Stadium of Light was lit.
Sunderland dominate West Ham in their first Premier League action in years, and Potter's Hammers continue to look awful in a 3-0 domination for the Black Cats.
Number 4, Reinders is world class.
On a team full of stars, Reinders shined brightest as he was electric on the pitch and gets his first goal and was the catalyst for City's 4-0 win over Wolves.
And number 5, United and Arsenal stay the same.
United looked better going forward, but still can't get it done, while Arsenal spin big to get a proven striker and still can't score goals. But they do come away with 3 points. So there's that. Okay.
Yes,
look at that. Go ahead.
Top 5 headlines. Those are your top 5 headlines for the Prem. But we're going to go into detail on the whole match day that we had because it was fun. It was great to have back. And
it really was
such a great host, Snooze, as you had us over Saturday morning.
Oh, yes.
We had food, we had drinks, we had announcements. I don't know if we're going to make any of those. So we had all kinds of stuff. So it was great. It was a great time.
Hey, and we can't let that slide. Your cocktails were great. He made
cotija. Carajillo.
Yeah, not cheese. He didn't make cheese. Yeah, carajillo. That shit was good. That shit was real good.
It was fun. It was good.
We had that and mimosas and tacos, homemade salsa. Oh man, it was a great Premier League and La Liga first week. So
with all ethnic groups were represented as well. And salsa, we had everything. All these pastries, Danishes. But anyway,
that's true.
We don't have to keep talking about the fun we had. We want to invite you guys. We'll do it one time with maybe like a whole no business fan thing,
like a breakfast,
subscribers, and all kinds of stuff. We'll do it one day.
That'd be cool.
But let's go ahead and break down the match day because we started on Friday with the reigning champions Liverpool taking on Bournemouth, and Liverpool walk away with a 4-2 win. Tell us about this match.
Yeah, Liverpool had a great match, and yet it was still 2-2 after the 76th minute thanks to Semenyo's brace. It appeared that Chiesa was going to be the savior for them until Salah got the 4th goal and made it comfortable in the end. So all things are well, like I said earlier at Anfield. But Vic, what did you see in this match? Because I'm not the expert here, okay? You are.
Yeah, I'll be quick. I know this isn't a Liverpool podcast, guys, real quick. But whenever Chiesa came on, first off, everybody was kind of upset because we put on all these defenders, and then Chiesa came on and everybody was like, that's the only striker we have, that's whatever. I was like, no, trust him, he's got it, he can do it. I had a bunch of hype for him because my Italian friend Christian was like, no, he's good. He came from Juventus and everything, so he was happy. And of course he got the 3rd goal, which would be the game winner. And then not only that, Salah got a goal on his right foot. Guys, it's over. If Salah gets a right foot as well, like that's at least 46 goals this year. Got to be at least.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So it was a great Friday though. I got to hug a stranger just because we did so well, and it was fun.
Like hugging strangers, apparently. It's my boy right there.
He's just like in the mood, man. You had to be there. But
fair enough.
Yeah, so it was a great Friday for me. And then we move on to Saturday again when you had us all over. It was the early game, though. Aston Villa, and Newcastle fight to a 0-0 draw. I'm not sure if we talk about them, but if you want to say something about it, go ahead and Stu.
We don't talk about them, but one of the headlines was if Isak was going to show, he didn't. And I guess the one thing I will say is that, man, Newcastle, they really could do with a guy like Isak on their team right about now. That'd be really cool if they just had him on their team. So,
yeah,
because teams that score 4 goals in a match day, they don't need you. Like what do they need you for? So,
it was still too close. So, you can still come on over, be ready, Isak. But, and then we move on to our next game. A little bit of frustration out of Brighton as Brighton and Fulham fight to a 1-1 draw. Tell us about it, Snooze.
Yeah, if you are a Brighton fan, you are beyond frustrated because it felt like they had all the momentum of the match. They definitely had the better chances. They only got one to go in, though, and that, of course, like we've said a couple of times already, if you don't score whenever you have the chances to, you keep the other people in the game or the other team in the game, and that was exactly what happened with Fulham with virtually the last kick of the ball. Moniz scores for Fulham, and they split the points. And just want to say, I'm a kit guy. I don't really like the away kits for Fulham. They it's like a highlighter color. I don't know. I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea.
They do tier lists, and we need to do like a kit tier list for you because we can do like S, A, B, C, and F and everyone. Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
We got
what is S for though? What is the S? I always wondered.
I don't know what it stands for, but it's just supposed to be like the best of the best. Above
S.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
But I know some fans, some supporters who are feeling like S here as Sunderland come back into the Premier League and thrash West Ham 3-0. Tell us about this match, News. I know it was a fun one.
The Stadium of Light was lit is what I wrote earlier, or what you said earlier. And man, it's honestly, I think it just became a bucket list place because that place was hype. It was awesome to see a 3-0 domination over an established Premier League side like West Ham. Sunderland are looking to buck the yo-yo trend of the recently promoted teams in the Prem. And man, wouldn't that be refreshing, Vic? To see a team stay up. I mean, we have a long way to go, but golly, that was really impressive to see. Meanwhile, West Ham, though, is just, they might just be this bad. I thought maybe they needed some time, and because Potter came in halfway through the season, maybe that's, they just needed some time with him. But I'm not sure that he keeps his position for too much longer if things don't change. I don't even think they keep their position in the Prem for that much longer if it keeps up this way. They look like a team that is out of energy, out of ideas, and going down this year.
Yeah, and watching that, I gotta agree with you. But just watching the 3-0 win and all the supporters for Sunderland, it just I think I'm drinking the Sunderland Kool-Aid too. It was fun to watch. And, it's cool. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, from a 3-0 newly promoted win to a 3-0 thrashing of a newly promoted team, Spurs beat Burnley 3-0. Tell us about your team's News.
We watched this one, and it was awesome. It was so fun. Because, we'll talk about that here in a second. Let me get my notes out of the way, and then I'll talk about why I loved it so much. But the new look Spurs under Thomas Frank get it done thanks to Richie and Johnson. And Kudus was dangerous on the wing. Richie had a ridiculous goal. And man, they keep a clean sheet. That was like the biggest thing for me is let's just keep a clean sheet. It doesn't get much better than that for us Spurs fans. Burnley looked outgunned, outmatched, and there will be easier matchups for them because Spurs away on your first day, that's probably a tough one. They'll have easier ones, but we'll see in the future if they can match up against some of the teams that are lower down the table. But for this night, or that day, I guess we should say, Spurs were the better team, and it was a lot of fun to watch, mainly because my boy Hyman Vic absolutely hates Richarlison. And that boy, if you haven't seen his goal, it was amazing. Yeah. It was so good. It's very it was exactly like his one that he had in the World Cup. And man, I was going crazy. I scared my baby.
It was good. Yes. All right. But speaking of thrashing, not to be outdone, Man City thrashed the Wolves 4-0. This was our afternoon game to end the Saturday. Tell us about this match we had.
Entering the season, Wolves are relegation candidates, and City are one of the favorites for the title. That's pretty much how it played out. It looked exactly like that because two of City's new signings in Tijani Reinders, as we talked about earlier, and Ryan Cherky got their first goals for the club. Holland gets a brace. What more could you ask for from the blue side of Manchester? But the main thing, like I talked about earlier, Reinders coming over from Milan, he was amazing. He was so good. I was saying in our preview of this team, like how much better he could be if he didn't have to be the main man coming to a team with all these stars versus, like, obviously Milan has a lot of good players too, but they're definitely a step up in the talent on the squad as a whole. But I think Reinders heard that and he was just like, no, I'm still going to be one of the best on this team too. And he was so much fun to watch. I think he, who came over? Oh, it was Marmoush. I was saying, there's another guy that went to City and just started tearing it up. I mean, usually you see people come over from other leagues coming into the Prem, and it takes some time for them to get used to it. Apparently not whenever you play for Pep Guardiola, because they have just come over here, they being Ryan Cherky, Tijani Reinders, Omar Marmouche, different leagues. I mean, that's France, Italy, and Germany, and they just end up doing really good things. So I'll stop talking about City. I'm sorry, but it was just fun. Yeah. It was a fun match to watch.
Yeah, it was all right. But it was a good way to close out a Saturday if you're a football fan. Not such a good way to open your Sunday, as we had Chelsea and Palace take on each other, all fighting to a 0-0 draw. We don't really talk about it, but it's first week of the season, and we got to get some reps in. Tell us about it, Snooze.
Yeah, we typically don't talk about these, but there's a few things that I just want to call out with this one. Excuse me. Babies, if you don't know, I have a daughter who's about to be 9 months. She has a lot of germs from daycare, and so they get to me, and I have a bunch of mucus going on right now. So I'm sorry if you could hear it. But anyway, in this match, Chelsea 0, Palace 0. The Blues fall flat in attack against Palace, and I just spent all offseason telling everyone how much I loved the attack and the moves that they had made in this summer. And then they couldn't score. They couldn't score a goal to save their lives. If you watch the highlights, well, the highlights from this one, there's not really highlights. There were so many shots that were like hitting dudes in the face and in the chest and just couldn't come down with it. I know it'll get better. Obviously, we're just one match day in, but it just didn't look like the team we saw taking on PSG back in June in the World Cup final, or the Club World Cup final. So I didn't expect this at all from them. Palace, on the other hand, they had a goal. It was called back because Eze's free kick, I guess there was some pushing, some shoving going on. I mean, I don't want to say I guess. If you watch it, there's definitely some pushing on it. But I don't know. It just seems like stand your ground, bow up. You know what I mean? He did, and you didn't, and that's not his fault. So the defender gets called for it. They take Eze's goal away. But it was really cool because Eze's about to go to Spurs. So, you know, it's a good last game for him to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we had a fun one for our second match of 3 on Sunday, as one of the better stories from last year. Nottingham Forest get a 3-1 win against Brentford. Tell us about this match that we had.
Forest, they put down Brentford with ease. And, I mean, the players that they have on their team that are good, I think they're really good. I don't know about the quality of the whole squad, but Gibbs White, Chris Wood, and the new boy Ndoye coming over from, I believe it was Bologna, they were amazing this match. Morgan Gibbs White assist for Forest's first goal was incredible. I added this one to the list of could be goals of the season. I don't think it'll win, but if you watch it, I mean, I think both of them, the assist and the header, were amazing. Morgan Gibbs White, it would have been really cool to see that guy at Spurs, you know, but their owner's really crazy, and I think he's being held hostage, but that's besides the point. Chris Wood continues to make the Kiwis proud. He picks up right where he left off, gets a brace, scoring goals like crazy. And I just feel like this could be a very long season for Brentford. We talked about it in our season preview that Brentford would be at the odds, have them fighting relegation to stay up. And man, just based off of that alone, or that match alone, I think that the other teams, maybe not Burnley, but Leeds and Sunderland, they might be able to catch them.
It'd be fun. I know we're pulling for Sunderland to do so anyway, so let's make it happen.
Yeah,
let's make it happen, Sunderland. Yeah.
And how cool, the Stadium of Light. That sounds awesome.
It does sound awesome. We got to go there just to say we win.
I know.
It looks fun too. So but to close out our Sunday, speaking of long seasons, Man United took on Arsenal, and it seemed like Man United played about 200 games last season because of the way that the season went. But Arsenal pick up the win 1-0 on the road. Tell us about this match.
Arsenal got a narrow victory over Amarim's United side, and they still can't seem to find goals, even with their new 70 million pound man, Gyökeres. It's going to be a long season, so I think that he'll be able to pick it up. But just from the preseason and the first game, it wasn't the best showing for him. He hasn't looked like himself, the guy that was over there in Sporting in Lisbon. And I mean, it's just, it's like they bring in these supposed world-class strikers to Arsenal, and then they just fall flat. Hopefully, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but hopefully for their sake that he does do good. But man, I saw a lot of memes, I guess. Like there was just people talking mess. They said that Šeško's performance was as bad as Gyökeres's, and they were playing, I mean, in similar matches, and they're just kind of like the same guy cost a lot of money and can't score goals. And it's just like, why does this happen? What I don't understand how these guys come over. Now, to be fair, I didn't watch a lot of Gyökeres. I just saw that he scored like 85 goals in the Portuguese league. But Šeško, we've talked about him forever. I mean, we've always said that he has potential. He's just not hitting the heights. Maybe if he had better team around him, he would do better. But it just, things aren't looking good right now. And I mean, the one thing that we'll say though for United is that Cunha and Mbemo, they played very well. They looked awesome. They just couldn't get it done. They couldn't get the I would say the ball over the line, but yeah, that makes sense. The ball over the line. To be fair to them, though, Arsenal, they were on the ropes for the last 15 minutes of the game. I honestly, it felt like Manchester United were going to get it done, but they just didn't. And that's kind of continuation from last season. So, tough way to start for Amorim, but I don't know who they play next. But I feel like if they get a win over a decent opponent coming up next, it wouldn't be a surprise because they had Arsenal on the ropes at the end of the game.
Yeah, and I have a Man U friend at work that he was saying that it was a little frustrating for him to watch this game. And it's kind of one of those things where, you answered a couple questions, but I think you raised a few more just playing this game. And we'll see how the rest of the season goes. Might be another long one for, Man U. We'll see. But that ended our Sunday. And then we go to Monday Night Football as we had, I know you said earlier, you don't really see 6-pointers in the first week of the season, but I got to think this is one as we had Leeds take on Everton. Leeds actually picking up the win in an early relegation battle. Tell us about Monday Night Football.
There's a little shade being thrown right there if you didn't catch that. Yes. Leeds get a late penalty thanks to a Tarkowski handball, and they're off and running with 3 points under their belt. Grealish, he made an appearance off the bench for Everton. Really crazy to see him like that. But, I mean, he instantly made an impact. He was running, his direct style, running at people. He started getting fouled like he usually does right away, which tells you that he's going to be a problem for this Everton side. But Leeds, they look like they're going to be a tough out, especially at home. And I don't know, does Everton have a home game next? Because I feel like they're going to be a little pissed off after this one and trying to get a first win in their new stadium. And we were talking about it because I sent a video. There's like a kid going up the stairs to see the stadium for the first time. I don't even know the name of it. It's just Everton Stadium. But he walks up the stairs and he's like looking around. He's all crying and, it's going to be fun. I'm excited to see it too.
Yeah, and for the record, they play Brighton at home next, so it's a Sunday morning game. We'll see how it turns out. I know they're going to be freaking bumping. So
that's going to be awesome. That's I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how things turn out for them. I mean, not just this season, but in the long run, because I know when Spurs were going to their new stadium, it just felt like it was never going to. They were never going to reap the benefits of it. And then now we're, a few years on and just starting that process. So maybe, this is the start of something really big for Everton, and they won't be fighting relegation. I'm calling it here. Okay. Hater.
Attaboy. You're a good friend. I'm just kidding. That's Danny P's team for you guys that don't know, our producer.
Oh, he says Hill Dickinson Stadium. Is that what he's saying?
Stadium? Yeah, I think that's the stadium. Yeah, that's the stadium.
Hill
We're being told in our ear. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a weird name.
That was the last match of match day 1. Do you want to take a look at the table? Because I think we have 7 champions and we have 7 relegated teams. Yep, there they are.
It's fun. Hey, we just got to do it it's going to be continuity's sake. It looks weird right now, but after a couple, 2-3 match days in, it's going to be fun to see who sticks here. You don't expect to see Sunderland that high up for too much longer. Spurs, everybody else looks right there. Yeah, but that's the only one. So oh man, I'm excited, man. It was a good it was like a good appetizer. But you know how it always is. There's like 3 match days and then there's a international break in mid-September. And so it's not that's always. Wait, is it mid-September? When is the first international break? Let's see.
I want to say it's when I'm in Japan. So this first, second week of September.
Let's see. International break dates. Let's look it up. Let's see. FIFA International Match Calendar. September 1st to the 9th. Yeah, first week of September. You're right.
I know, because there's no Japan League games going on while I'm there. The entire time I'm there. Sucks.
Oh yeah, I would say international break. Yeah, okay. Well, what is that? How many weeks is that from us right now?
2 weeks.
We're 1, 2.
Right?
Oh,
2 weeks.
We legit get 3 games.
Oh, 3 games, 3 weeks. Yeah.
And then is it 3? Yeah. We get, there was the last weekend, we get the 23rd, and then my birthday, the 30th. And then we don't have a match. So, we get 3, and then we don't even get a full quarter. Anyway, that's always the most frustrating, because then I think it's like that one, and then there's one like in October, November timeframe too. Like, golly, it's like not until after then can you really get going, getting into the thick of it. But either way, I'm excited, man. We're here. Football is back, and we get the full leagues next week. Oh man, I'm excited about it. Vic, take us home.
Yeah, we took care of La Liga and the Prem, but next week we're going to be going over Bundesliga and Serie A. So be sure to like and subscribe and follow us on all of our social medias. Everything is at No Business Soccer Podcast, except for TikTok, except for Twitter. That is at No Biz Sock Pod, because those names are too damn long. Again, we will all talk to you very soon, and we love you. Peace.
Peace.